Hey, Kat.
Hey,
Can you see me okay?
yes, I can.
Let's see who we got. Hi, everyone. Wow, there's loads. It's amazing.
I've hidden everyone's profile pictures. People can rename themselves if they wish to.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to make Michelle a co-host here. And I'm just going to, excuse me. Guys, just want to let you know, let's dispel the first myth of business that you need to be any good at all at tech. Hands up, 12 years in digital business and still completely useless with technology. So I'm just gonna welcome you all here and also reassure you that 12 years in, I'm still hopeless on the old technology, which might be reassuring for some of you, I'm sure. Sam, what am I going to do? I'm going to pin you, I think. Should
Okay.
we do that? There's you pinned, and here is me pinned. Hi,
Hi.
here we are.
I've got a
Fantastic.
picture of absolutely everyone. Shall I change my view a little bit?
Yeah, that might be good. Let's put
There we
it on
go. Yeah.
speaker view.
So I can see you better. Yeah. That's
Is that even better if I do an immersive? No,
side by side.
No, it's like this, right? Speaker.
Okay.
Okay, hi.
Hello. Have you had some sleep, first off?
No, no sleep. Not yet. I'm going to stay on English time, I think, because I'm only here for a few days. Thanks for bearing with me. Because I was in a different country, Zoom wouldn't let me actually log in. So that was what was going on. So thanks, everyone. We'll hopefully make it well worth the wait. I want to let you know that we will give you so much value in this next hour. And I'm going to tell you everything I can that I possibly can share with you that's going to move the needle. We're going to have a little pray together, a little connection. And we're also going to talk about Sam's journey because he's had such a miraculous transformation. And I think actually credit where credit's due, Sam. It's really nice to acknowledge you and celebrate you and really recognize that journey. And it's fun for us, right, to reminisce. It's gone quite quickly, but I know at times it felt like absolutely like it was never going to end, and that uncertainty is not going to be unusual for folks going through these next years. So we've got to find a way to navigate it. And then I'm happy to share a bit about my story, if that's interesting for people, and take any questions, and also share with you a little bit about my program and where you can get more if you want to look at going deeper with this work together. So I know some of you are interested in that. But let's start with a prayer, shall we? Does that feel good? Okay, so everyone, just find your own center really, and just use this as a mindful moment if it's not in alignment with your beliefs. It's just here to really ask to create a safe space. So for me personally, I like to close my eyes. It's nice to take that deep breath and just let your energy just settle for a moment, just to become really present, just to really be in the here and now. Let yourself feel your body rest and feel the support of the chair beneath you, your feet on the ground, a deep breath into your belly, really taking up space and inhabiting your physical form fully. And set your intention for this call today. Why are you here? Something's led you to be here. This is a divine appointment. This is a very precious moment, right? Life is a series of vivid moments. And sometimes we're not present to those moments as they unfold. So this is a moment to become really present, because this could be a life-changing hour of your life. As it has been for so many before you, and will be for so many in the future, when we really come into contact with our souls, with our dreams, with our heart's guidance. So just breathing and becoming still into your own quiet inner knowing, that still small voice within your center. And just let us pray for a moment together. So I'm just going to actually hold a quiet space so that everyone can have their own connection with your own sense of a creator or a higher power or divine. For me, it's God. For you, it might be something else. Let's just have a quiet minute just to sit and breathe. And just however relaxed you are feeling, maybe just see if you can double that and relax even more. You know, where does pushing and struggle get us? Nowhere really. So if we just relax even deeper into this moment. I'm so grateful for you for being here. Just want to give thanks for Dr. Sam, for the technology that allows us to come together from all over the world today, and for the gifts and the grace that's been given to me in my path, and for all the miracles and abundance that is to be activated for you in your path. We just give thanks in advance for that. So grateful, God, for the blessings and the abundance in our lives. Just pray that you would pour your blessings on us today, and that the highest good would come from this call, the highest good for everybody in this community, and the highest good for those with us live, and that they would get what they need today, they would get what they needed. And also for those listening on the replay or in future, really just pray that this would be a space, a sacred space, where we are aligned with your will, the divine design for our lives in this lifetime, and that we come to you with humility, with open hearts and minds and willingness to see where we've maybe lost our way or need course correcting, and to become available for your loving hand to guide us. Give us the wisdom, the words to speak, the thoughts to think, the actions to take, and the next steps, the next right steps to lead us to fulfillment, to freedom, and to the good fortune that you have in mind for us as your divine children, as your creations. We pray this believing in the name that all that is holy, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, so it is. Amen. Right. And so in your own way, in whatever way works for you, just give thanks, wrap that up, close that energy for yourself. And when you're ready, you can put a big smile on your face, you can open your eyes, you come back, you have a little shake if that feels good. I'm just going to turn my phone off. Thanks so much for being here again. So, right, let's make a start. Sam, do you want to share a little bit about your story behind the scenes, some of the stuff that maybe people are curious about in terms of your business journey with all of this?
Yeah, I mean, a few years before we had met, I had my own experience of the conventional medical system of not getting better, not getting the answers I needed. And I reached out to someone and became a member of the International Lyme and Associated Disease Society, which is an organization which promotes scientific and medical awareness of what Lyme disease is, because it's a very multi-systemic disease. And the focus of that organization is principally functional medicine. And for those who don't know what functional medicine is, it's getting to the root cause of why people become sick. So often I might see people who've been unwell for years, potentially decades. They've been around the houses seeing different specialists and told everything's normal, they haven't got any answers, and they still feel awful. And there I was working as a general practitioner, as I had done for 10 years, feeling deeply unfulfilled, not able to ask the questions and do the tests that I needed that I can now do as a functional medic, which is what I'm doing entirely now. And you and I had a mutual friend, a special mutual friend, and I phoned her one day and I said, Sandy, what the hell am I doing? I'm stuck in this 2020, chaos of a so-called pandemic, which was nothing of the sort. And they're about to want me to start being a part of injections and all those sorts of things I didn't agree with, and didn't fit with me, knowing full well there was treatments all along and that sort of stuff. And, as you know, Kat, I never took part in any of that. And I resigned within a few months of those being introduced. But Sandy literally said to me, this isn't your purpose. This isn't your sole purpose. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're coming home at the end of the day, physically and psychologically exhausted and burnt out, because you're seeing people who are often at their worst, let's say. I did quite a bit of sort of trauma medicine and things before. but often at their lowest ebb, you know, we're talking about people with advanced cancer, all those kind of things. Dementia is very common now, are not really able to make a difference. And so I would then, you know, ingratiate that trauma into my own well-being, which wasn't well at all. I was just existing. I can't ever complain that I was paid badly because I was well remunerated, but I didn't have a fulfilling life in any way, shape, or form. I was a doctor. I knew nothing of business. I knew nothing about how to go it alone. I had done the functional medicine training. I spoke to Sandy, and then she said, "You need to speak to Kat." And that's when you and I met.
And what did she see? Why did she say to speak to me? Because Sandy's really psychic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she tells you things only you would know sometimes.
She probably could see that there were pieces of the puzzle that I was holding for you, I think.
Yeah.
So in the chat, everybody, I just want to hear, like, what are you up to right now? Like, where do you resonate with Sam's story? Like, are you already working for yourself, but you're not making the money that you want? Are you in employment, but you sort of are tired of that, or you want to leave? Are you recovering from some kind of burnout? I mean, when I met you, Sam, you were in so much stress. Like, I would just call it intense work stress. And we all know how toxic and how, I mean, as a doctor, you know this, but like, so many diseases, right, come from stress more than anything else.
Nearly all, yeah.
You know, the biggest thing that I see in my practice is that people don't believe that it's possible. Like, we have been conditioned to believe that work is hard and money is hard. And I know for me, and this may resonate with some of you, sort of have maybe a similar neurodiversity to me, numbers were so hard for me as a child. I still struggle very much with scheduling, with dates, very practical things sometimes really, it doesn't quite land. And I had that kind of dyspraxia as well. Like, I just remember going to ballet class and everyone skipping, and I was like literally hopping on one foot to the other. But so that always made me think, well, I'm bad at numbers, I'm bad at money, I'm bad at maths, I can't do money. And one of the big shifts that I want everyone to get from today's session, if nothing else, is that when you start to think money as energy, right? Money is energy, and energy is currency. Money is currency, and energy is currency. And it's this sort of frequency and this fun, unlimited flow that you can invite into your life and not get stuck in the sort of left brain perspective of money. And I think when I met you, Sam, you were very in your left brain, because you were doing 80-hour weeks. You'd been a doctor for 17 years, all of that training, right? All of the institutions that we're put through as children that drive us into our left brain. But you had this passion and you had this calling, and your heart was guiding you to something way off piste, right? You were being course corrected into a path that was not the path set out for you from the world, if you like. It was coming from your soul. And it's like you're remaking your world, because we've spent our lives adapting to the world. And now what we're saying is, no, let the world adapt to you. We're here to create our own economy. And what's happening right now is we're hearing all this fear mongering that the economy is going to really suffer and we're going to have a negative economy. And we haven't been in this place for maybe ever, but definitely for a long time, this type of level of recession that they're talking about. But we have been in through challenges before. And I actually started my business on a credit card by hiring a mentor in a double dip recession. And at that time, I remember hearing this thing, which the economy, let's get this out in the open, right? The economy, what does that even mean? It's like this mystical concept that is completely intangible, right? Like, what is the economy? Well, here's what the economy is. Here's our definition of the economy. The economy is person A giving value to person B, and person B paying person A in liquid appreciation, in gratitude for that value that they have provided, right? It's a transaction, it's a deal, it's an exchange of energy, of money. Money is energy, and energy is currency. Currency likes to flow. It's like a current, like water. So if you free up your mind around this, and you get that energetic shift just to start. Like, I want to lay this premise down for us all just to start this call off. I want you to get into the flow and the fun and the frequency of money is energy and energy is currency, and the economy is just person A giving value to person B, and person B in sacred reciprocity giving something of value back to person A. And please say in the chat, and it's really great if you can engage with me. If you get that and that feels good to you, just say yes in the chat, or I got it, Kat, or like something.
There's no chat. There's no chat.
Oh, there's no chat. What can they do, Michelle? Can they like honk their, can they flash their mics? Flash your mic or something. Like give us a little hand up or something, or a little wave in the screens. Yeah. Or just give me a thumbs up. Like I got it.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
We're all here as sentient human beings capable of, you know, infinite creation, and yet we're dumbed down literally to think of our worth in terms of what that paycheck might be at the end of the week or the month, doing something that isn't fulfilling our ultimate purpose and not in any way leading the life we want. And I say that as someone who was leading that life, and of course what transpired after, we can go through how we worked together initially, but what transpired afterwards with the viral video and getting into a bit of a storm wasn't planned in any way at all. That wasn't part of our plan, but you were there to step in. And
I think this is really important to speak on in a moment. I don't want to interrupt you, but can we just pin that, because I want to come back to that.
Yeah. Well, you know you have to do that for me, Kat, because my brain jumps around a lot, doesn't it?
Well, no, I think you're going somewhere, so I want to hear where you're going. I don't want to cut you off.
So would it be helpful, do you think, if we spoke about how we first came together and what you began to do with me and create a vision? And
yeah, so let's just quickly go back to that piece though, because I think it's so important. So here's what happens, right? We're either waiting or we're creating, and what you were doing was you were waiting. Like you were waiting for the thunderbolt or like the sign or something to change. And the indigenous people call this the time of the black jaguar. Like it's a time where if we don't change, if we don't evolve, if we don't adapt, if we don't sort of advance and take those leaps of faith and become bigger, like stretch and expand what we think we're capable of, it will be sort of, the decision will be taken away from us in a way. It's like if we don't make these, like in the dinosaurs, right? If we can't evolve, we'll be wiped out. It's that kind of time. It's not, we're not sort of screwing around. It's quite a strong energy where, like recently I was getting all this intuitive lead to come off Facebook. You've got to go Facebook, it's not good here. And I didn't acknowledge it. I kind of just kept ignoring my guidance, you know, avoiding it. And thinking, I will do that soon. I will do that soon. It's like, I'll leave that job soon. I'll get out of this soon. But kind of waiting for that lightning bolt moment to just make the break, to leave. And in that waiting, the choice got taken away from me eventually, because I kind of got like barred, but in this really weird way. And I thought that was actually sort of divinely, that was providence moving in my life to kind of like just push me off the edge of the cliff, because I didn't want to do it myself. So I see this sometimes as like when we're delaying, life will actually nudge us into it. And I think with you, what I wanted to say was we wait and we say, you know, there's that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Yeah. Right. Well, that's true. But also when the teacher is ready, the students appear. Right. When the speaker is ready, the audience appear. When the coach is ready, the clients appear. Right. Like you put yourself out there, but you were on a wing and a prayer. Like we'd set up I'd said to you, okay, Sam, we need to get you a simple website. We need to get you a booking system so people can book with you privately, and you've got to make this leap. And it was that kind of not umming and ahhing, but just with anybody, there's that transition stage. When you finally made the leap, there's a lovely Goethe quote. I think it's William H. Murray attributed to Goethe, but it says like, the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too, right? And all acts of like magic and things start to happen that could never have previously happened. That's what I witnessed with you. Like you made the cut, you made the decision, took the scary leap into the unknown because you felt safe, because at that point we'd set up a very simple system where you could be your own man, where you could be sovereign. You had your very simple website, a booking system, a clear offer, and a sales page that we'd worked on the copy together for.
Yeah, I couldn't write the copy, if you remember. Do you remember my first attempt? I sent you a Word document. You were like, oh God. No one is going to book in with you. So not only, I should say, my first article published in my name comes out next week. I'll be sharing that with everyone. But I sent you my sort of idea of what the website would be, and yeah, you're like, no, this is awful. No one's going to book in with you. No one's going to want to be with you.
It was just hard to penetrate. And this is the other thing, is that we have to become masters of like cloaking ourselves for different audiences and translating what we're trying to say so that people can hear it. Because sometimes it's like a dog whistle, you know, or a dolphin call. Like, you know, we've got to get it on the level where people can hear it. And so that was all that was wrong with it. There was nothing wrong. It was just, it's like me, when I came into the online world, I was wet behind the ears. I was in my 20s and I was an English literature graduate. And I was I used to write in this very sort of prosaic, educated way. And my copywriter trainer was a hairdresser, ex-hairdresser. He'd been cutting hair for 16 years on salon floors. So he knew exactly how to like riff with people, how to speak, how to grab attention. He would write on his board outside the hair salon a different thing and then he'd see how many clients walked in the door of the salon depending on what he'd written on the board. So that's how he learned how to engage the mind and the market. And that's how I became a copywriter and transitioned out of like academic language into the vernacular of the everyday of taking people on a journey and being able to connect with an audience and with a customer. So that was that big shortcut. When you have a mentor, you have a shortcut, and you just got a really fast track, Sam. And thank goodness you did, because your purpose was have such momentum that I think it was within a month of having your website live, the video went viral. And I always thank goodness that you had your Instagram set up. And I think you got 40,000 followers in a weekend. And then we'd already set up your mailing list. And if anyone doesn't have a mailing list, I really want to quickly speak to that as a key business takeaway from today. If you just take this one thing away, it's literally been worth an hour of your time, is that more than ever, you want to own your data. You want to own your audience for whatever you are looking to create. Doesn't matter if it's like a knitting circle. If it's on Facebook, it's vulnerable. If it's on Instagram, it's vulnerable. If it's on LinkedIn, it's vulnerable. So the very first step with all of this was what we did for you, Sam, is we made sure that there was a place where your people could opt into you directly, and you wouldn't get barred, you wouldn't get blocked. You could have a direct line to people that wanted to hear from you and that you wanted to connect with. And so just little things like that, which to the untrained eye would seem like kind of irrelevant or no big deal. But can you imagine if you hadn't have had that when you went viral, what that would have cost you? You know, that your list is the biggest asset in any business right now. Like, I don't know if you're finding this, but look at your own buying behaviors. I hate ads now. I used to click on the odd ad, on Facebook or Instagram. I'm barely on social media, really only on Telegram anymore. I used to be always on Facebook every day, promoting the business. Facebook did this amazing bait and switch where for a time it was about community, and then all of a sudden everything was pay to play once they'd got everybody hooked. So if you own your list, that can't happen. So I'm never on social media, so I'm never buying anything off ads. And when I do buy something, more and more, it's usually from someone I either have a word of mouth relationship with, and I trust them and I trust their recommendations. And I, like, it's kind of like this call today, right? If you trust Sam with your body, it's more than likely you might be interested in who might be helping him with his money or his business, right? Because it's like, well, we've got a similar ethos, similar ideas. If it's worked for him, it might work for me. So word of mouth, stronger than ever. Community, stronger than ever. And email. I'm buying off emails in a way that I haven't done since 2010. And so just, it might be different for you. I would invite everybody to take a moment to write that down. Like, where are you stopping the scroll, if you like. Where are you buying from right now? I don't watch TV anymore. I don't listen to the radio. I listen to podcasts. And if it's not in my inbox or on a podcast or a friend has recommended it to me, I am probably not going to buy it. And
You
so
are
that's
watching
really
my
where-
interviews though, right, Kat?
What's that?
You are watching my interviews, right?
Tuned into Dr. Sam TV. Do you know, Sam, I probably don't watch nearly as many as I should, if I'm really honest, but that's nothing personal to you. It's just the fact that I have 3 kids and I'm constantly
Oh, okay then, whatever. Kids, yeah,
around.
the usual one.
I don't want to terrify them by having that on in the background. They listen to Michael Bublé most of the time.
Okay, fair enough. Can't compete with that.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd love everyone to just grab those hints. Energy is like, money is energy, right? The economy is not broken. We still have such empowerment right now. We don't need to be victimized by this narrative. That's what I loved as well, Sam. Like when we used to have those calls right in the beginning, it was full on for you. You were getting death threats, you were having a high court legal battle, and here you were. Like, I remember crying on the phone one day to you, just being like, you're so willing. I don't think I've ever had a client like you who just is going through the fire so hardcore and is like, okay, Kat, just taking the next right step. And that really moved me at the time. You know, I remember that really moving conversation we had, and I felt very Celtic. I felt very Irish on that call that day, because that was like that warrior spirit in me, where I was like, you know, this is it now. We're in it. It's kind of like spiritual warfare or some sort of. But entrepreneurialism is a bit like that. You know, it's not like you're going to get this comfy paycheck at the end of every month. It's you and you. And so this narrative that's going on right now, that, you know, the fear and the lack and the scarcity, it's all about disempowering us. It's all about putting us into victim consciousness. And yes, there's opportunities out there. There's crypto, there's gold, there's silver. But my work is about, you have gold within you. You're sitting on the gold. You are the gold. But are you mining it? Are you allowing yourself to see the value inside you already? And from that abundance, from that enoughness, lose yourself in the service of others. Because we will always be scared. We will always have fear. We will always have blocks. That doesn't go away. Tell me, did that at all go away throughout our entire process? Like, has it gone away now? If you wait to feel ready, if you stay in that waiting energy, you literally will die before you sing the song you're here to sing. Literally, you'll take your magic to your grave. You'll take your gold to your grave, and it will never be untapped. And that's that story in the Bible about the talents. You know, there's like an old man, and he has these talents, which was like money, tablets of money in those days, and he divides it out amongst his servants in the proportions that he feels they can manage. And obviously the old man is kind of like God, right? Like, you have shown me that your capacity is this much, so I'm going to give you this much. Sure. And so he gives this one servant 5 talents, then he gives his second servant 3 talents, and then he says to the final servant, like, I'm giving you 1 talent. And he said to them all, I want you to use these, and when I come back, I want you to make sure that you've managed my estate well and increased. I want you to see the increase in a year from now. So he comes back a year from now, and the guy with the 5 talents has gone out and he's bought and sold and he's traded and he's doubled his money, he's doubled his talent. And the master's really happy with him. And then the second one, he's done the same, he's increased, and he's nearly doubled what he's got, and the master's really happy. And then he says to the bottom one, how did you get on? And he said, well, I was just really scared, you're really hard to please, right? So he goes, immediately he goes into projection and blame. This is your fault. You're hard to please. I can't make you happy. And I was worried you'd criticize me. So I just buried my talent in the ground, and here it is back. I didn't lose any money. And he's furious. The master's furious. And he takes the talent off him, takes the money off him, and he gives it to the guy who has the most talent, the most money. And he says, this is what I say to you, those who have will have more. And those that are like in this place of lack and fear and hiding it in the ground, it will all be taken away. And I think that is such an important story for us to hold on to right now, because you might think you're safer hiding it in the ground. You might think you're safer burying your light under a bushel. Like, there was no point at which Sam probably felt safe where he put his neck on the line. but there was something within him that just was like, I have got to sing my song, because it's actually like, it's a false illusion of comfort and security to stay in this situation that is killing me on a deep level, because I think that, you know, I'll be rejected by the world, or that it'll be too hard, or I'm scared, or it's the unknown and I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, that is all our ego. Our ego wants this certainty, it wants this safety, this straight and narrow path which doesn't exist. The path of entrepreneurship is windy, it's bumpy, it's highs and lows and peaks and troughs, and it's terrifying. And I say that without having been a international sensation and receiving death threats. I'm fairly, like, I'm really behind the scenes with what I do. I like to be the best kept secret. You know how I am, like, I like to be below the radar, and I still find it terrifying. You know, I remember the first time sort of coming out of the spiritual entrepreneurial closet with my parents or with people from high school, and caring what they thought of me. And that is so sad, because that is what's stopping most of you. And if that resonates with you, I just want you to hold your hand out and just, like, let's just own it. You know, let's just own, like, if something that's been blocking you and getting in your way has got anything to do with other people's opinions of you, let's make a community decision to, like, get out of our own way. Right? Should we do that? Like, is everybody up for that? It's so hard for me not to have interaction though. Like, yeah, I'm getting some waves. You can flash your mic or put your hand up if that's you. Like, and you know, even on my team, we have these conversations all the time of like, right, where are we actually doing stuff to avoid the important? Like, this is about creating lives of meaning. And that was that you were pursuing at the time. It was absolutely nothing to do with money. You know, it's still nothing to do with money with you. But it was just about the away from of, I can't do this anymore. And then the towards of, like, this is what I want to be a stand for. This is what I want to be. I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not going to wait for someone to rescue me. And I'm not going to martyr myself. I'm going to put my own oxygen mask on so I can be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And that victim consciousness is something that is being perpetuated in so many circles, like, oh, invest in this, invest in that, or, oh, look, you haven't got enough, the gas is going to be so high. These things, they're all designed to disempower us and take us out of that certainty, that sovereignty, right? And of that havingness, that enoughness, right? I've got my 5 talents, let me use them in the world, let me fearlessly circulate them, and I'll be given more. As I stretch, as I grow, as I believe in myself, as I value myself, as I invest in myself, as I make these scary leaps into the unknown, the leap and the net will appear. But if you think I'll believe it when I see it, you will never see it.
I should say, Kat, I don't feel fear anymore. I mean, it might be because I've been through the fire. I've, you know, been banned from social media. I've been in the High Court. I won. But there's a lot of people here who, you know, supported me massively on that journey as well. So when I stepped out of the matrix, and then obviously that video happened, I was met. I always think, you know, whenever there's challenge, there's equal support, but the support for me was far more abundant, and it remains so to this day. Still, there's things that come up day to day, you know, which throws me off course, but not for long. You know, I tend to think, am I going to be bothered about this next month? No. Well, why let it bother me today? You know, same sort of attitude that I know you would have. But going through that very expedited transition, because it had to be, otherwise I had no income, I had nothing. Yeah. From having had, you know, a regular paycheck for 18 years, and then suddenly being phoned up and saying you're not working anymore. Because I went back, for people who don't know, I went back and did a few days each week I only did two days as a locum, because then I didn't have to be involved with you know, the juice. And I could still earn a little bit of money. And I was planning to slowly build things up, but I had to come back to you and say, Kat, just been told I'm crazy, and I can no longer work, you know, by the radicals. So we had even more work to do to just get me going and have that, you know, and it very, very quickly became that I was I would say now, a trusted figure in the medical profession, medical world here and further abroad. And I'm actually, there's a conference next month in Zanzibar, which people can register for online, called Healthcare the Future if they want. It's being massively, this ticket sales went really well for the first couple of days, and then massively shadow banned by social media, because I'm a keynote speaker on day one, and then thereafter there's some other natural sort of health doctors talking, and whenever you're doing that sort of thing, your competitors are either the sugar companies or the pharmaceutical companies. So there's always these challenges, but we'll circumvent them. And I couldn't have done the presentation that I'm about to do next month if I was still a primary care GP, because I'm talking about having changed people's lives who've been unwell for years and years, that's decades, and never known why, just feel crap, basically. Bloods are normal, scans normal, you're normal, go away, it's in your head. And now I can do things for those people, I can ask the right questions, and it's actually astounded me, the results I'm getting, that I'm having to narrow down, I have to present some cases. How do I fit so many into just 45 minutes, an hour of talking? So that's where I'm at now.
Yeah. So I'm just blown away by the time already, Sam. We've got about 20 minutes, like not even 19 minutes. I can see some hands up, but I don't know if they're just up because I was saying put your hand up, and I want to make sure if any questions have come in, I get to them today, because I know that there was things that in this hour you really wanted me to share with your audience, and I think some of your audience might be like you, like perhaps looking for some coaching, perhaps looking for some support, maybe looking for some community as well. The other great thing about my coaching program is that you get this sort of like feeling of we're in this together and I'm not alone. And I think that for you there was that very lonely period before you had that huge influx of new people in your life. Having that person in your corner to say you're not crazy, even when your employer was saying you were crazy.
Not them, it was the higher powers. Yeah, and they were using that as an excuse to discredit what I had to say. And that was obviously in the face of overwhelming science and evidence that I had in my back pocket, had been accumulating for some time.
Yeah, and you know, it's wild because so Sam and I were at a club that I go to because it's very near my house the other day, and I've been there loads. I go there all the time, I go there with my kids. And there's, you know, it's sort of like a place where you'll see a lot of celebrities. Like my kids have climbed under the table where Nick Cage is having Sunday lunch and sat next to Kylie Minogue, and it's seen David Beckham swimming in his Speedos and all that. And that happens all the time there. And I've been there with various sort of celebrity types over the years. And I was there with Sam, and I've never had this happen. I was there the other week with Sam, and this guy runs up to us, stops us dead in our tracks. He's like, "Are you Sam White?" And Sam was like, oh yeah, you know, and he was like, just thank you so much for your work. And it was such a tender moment.
It was, yeah. He had a lovely smiling face.
And lovely smile, and his name was Sam as well. So why I'm saying this, Sam, is because this is the thing, right? Like where you are weak, I will make you strong. It's like where you have been taken out, like talked down, rubbished, told you were crazy, completely alone, completely in this place of like the wilderness, the transformation of now being like beloved and like literally sought down and chased down in the street. It's like being with the Beatles, being with Dr. Sam, right? And you know, this like level of transformation where the fear, the voice will say to you, oh God, you know, what will people think? You can't do that. But actually the truth is like the community is there and the love is there and the support is there. It's there on the other side of your fears, like these walls of Jericho, these towers that present as being real, false evidence appearing real, you know, and looking into the eyes of that fear and really taking it head on to then get to the other side. must just feel amazing, because it's on every level, I think, for you, that the transformation from a dream into a reality, and the law of polarity, right? Like everything is the presence of what is and the absence of what is. You know, everything is matter and non-matter. So we can all be in the lack of money and in that story, which is where a lot of our attention is being co-opted to right now. Or we can really be in the focus of like, wow, the opportunity here is so massive. The businesses we can build, the money we can make, the lives we can change, the ways we can bless and prosper each other in business, as a community, as a tribe, as a group of like entrepreneurs going to the next level, lifting each other higher. Amazing opportunity to be part of a movement that is just gaining momentum. Like I know for me, I've done business the last 12 years, and a lot of that business, and I'm talking millions of dollars, have been generated between me and my peers and my colleagues and my clients. It's literally our own economy. We're in our own bubble. And then you come up for air one day and you hear that it's the second fastest growing industry next to technology. And now everybody wants to be a part of it, right? When I became a coach, I was ridiculed. It was ridiculous. Like it didn't exist. And I was vegan, I was juicing, I was running. I'm not a vegan anymore, but in those days in my 20s, everybody's like, what the hell has happened to Kat? She used to be cool and fun, and now she's just joined a cult and is crazy. And I lost all my friends. I lost them all. You know, they just thought I was completely a lost case. And maybe I was, you know, maybe I was in their eyes. Like that fall from grace of when you go through rapid transformation and you answer a calling and it's just bigger than you, and you just surrender. You surrender your ego, you surrender your identity, you surrender who you thought you were, in exchange for something that is just your soul and like what you know you're meant for. And it was terrifying and it was hard, but having my peers, my mentors, my community, and having a proven track that I could take step by step, that was what changed the game for me. Like that's what gave me my promised land. It like led me to a place where I knew was possible. And I think that's definitely what I saw with you. It happened very quickly with you. And now you found your people on the other side of that abyss.
Massively.
Right?
Massively,
Staring into that abyss, that fear.
Yeah.
And that's really something that like inspired me with my work to create a community-based program. So a coaching program that has a home study syllabus that is an entrepreneurial experience, like a journey into the mindset and the money and the sales and how to make that work and attract the right clients for you, but also how to do that with a tribe of people that are going to get you and uplift you and have value and do business together, make money and share and exchange value. Person A giving value to person B and person B giving money to them in exchange. And it's been beautiful to watch.
When we connected, I was obviously just given your phone number by our mutual friend. I can't recommend you highly enough. I'm sure people have picked that up already. And you've sort of been announced in the last few days as the person behind me.
Honestly, terrifying.
Yeah. What's the best way, and how do you want people to reach you or work with you? What do you want to do?
Shall I say a bit about like who I'm best positioned to help right now? Because it's not for everybody. It's probably not something that everybody. But I think if you're a service-based professional, or you want to be, you know, even if you have a day job, I've had a lot of people quit their day jobs in my programs. But if you have a gift, something that you sell as a service right now, and you're maybe stuck in a paradigm where it's time for money, so you may be charging an amount per session, and that's not satisfying for you, and you'd like to work with higher levels of transformation, you're interested in like, how would I do that? Like, how would I put together a package or a program that might carry more value and make a bigger impact? Then this program that I am currently doing an enrollment in for a September start would be ideal for those people. If you are nervous about selling, if you are struggling, like if you have a money mindset, you know you've got money stuff to work on, go and have a look at the testimonials on my page is what I would definitely say. If anyone after this wants to have a look for the program, it's called the Intuitive Business Transformation. It's kind of like a 12-step program to rehabilitate your mindset around money, and becoming a successful, free, sovereign entrepreneur in the thing that you love doing, the thing that you know you're meant for, the thing you're here to do, your soul's purpose. And that's something that the whole of the first month, so it's like 3 months, first month is all about knowing yourself deeply and really getting to grips, like, what is my gift, what am I here to do, and how do I express that? We did that for you, Sam. It was like we did your bio and those very simple basic building blocks. They are the fundamentals. Doesn't matter what's trending on TikTok, right? I don't bother with any of that stuff. My teachings are fundamentals, inner work and outer game strategy of the stuff that is timeless in business. The things like the words and the copywriting, presenting yourself, setting your prices, creating your offers. It's a brilliant time to bring fresh offerings out. It's a brilliant time. So I was saying it's for service people. If you are already transitioned into your own thing, then it's a great way to polish that and refresh that and refine that and probably take that to a new level. You're probably undercharging. If you're in a job and you're scared to make the leap into entrepreneurship, it's a brilliant transition program. And it's not going to be more than a couple of hours a week. So we have a 2-hour live session with me. So it's like a mastermind, high level group coaching program starting in September. 2 hours with me every week on Zoom. We will have chat and we will take questions, and you'll be able to come up. If you're feeling shy, you can message me and I will be there as your coach, working alongside you, holding your hand, getting you through the hurdles that I've walked Sam through and many others. It's tried and tested, this program. We've had over 100 people go through this program. We've had insane testimonials where people go from making 60 grand a year to making 350 grand a year within the space of 12 months. And then not only that, reporting, like halving their working hours, better connection with their husband, better relationship with their children, the well-being. We haven't even discussed like the well-being side of this, with the amount of more freedom and life-giving benefits, the way that it sucks your energy when you're trading your soul or trading time for dollars in that very sort of depleting way. We're just not meant for that. It's like I see it in my kids all the time. When they're in their passions or in their gifts, time disappears. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like play. It feels easy and fun and free and magical and expansive. And people think that's too good to be true. That's the problem, because we've been conditioned and ingrained that money is hard and business is hard. So when I say these things, it's like, well, it's almost like this disassociation, right? Where we can't actually believe that it's possible because it sounds too good to be true. But the reason it sounds too good to be true is because we have been led to believe that money is hard and that work is struggle. That hardship, that is from an industrial age. We're not in an industrial age anymore. We're in a digital age. And we have to evolve and adapt and get with this current consciousness, this new paradigm that's available, because God did not design us to be in complete like struggle and lack in a job we hate. Like if we hate it, if it's destroying us, it's not for us. It's not life-giving, right? Like God is good all the time. Like we're here to thrive. I came that you would have life and have it abundantly. It's not about this sort of lack and scarcity. That is not the truth of how our self-expression in the world is meant to manifest. We're meant to manifest who we are, more and more of that light, not hiding that light under a bushel, but bringing that light into the world, bringing our divinity onto the earth plane so that we can manifest and attract more goodness, more health, more love, more well-being, more life to all and less to none. Right, these universal principles, they are the basis and the foundations for my work, for my course that I'm running a new cohort through, a new group through in September live. And I don't do it live very often. It's usually a digital download. You can still get the digital download, but there's a very special group coming together for September. So if it's calling to anybody, that's the premise. It's these universal premises with these business foundations. And if you've never done anything like around business, this will be like doing an MBA. This is what people say. They're like, it's like an entrepreneurial training, like a step-by-step program with getting clear on your gifts, getting clear what you're here to do, attracting your ideal clients, getting your bio and your presentation right so that you can then go off and do what Sam did and put a simple website together if that's your thing. And then learning how to have very sensitive and authentic sales conversations with the right people for offers and packages that are aligned for your lifestyle design, that are very simple and sustainable. And then getting to grips with money, getting paid, boundaries, managing your time and energy, really like high level, cutting edge trainings. This has probably been 250 grand's worth of my own mentoring and development and years and years in the trenches. And I'm a mum of 3, so I've given birth and breastfed babies 3 times in the last decade, whilst also sustaining this level of well-being and lifestyle in my business. I'm not ever somebody who regurgitates information. I live it. I bring it right from the truth of the now, not from what was working a year ago, but the timeless fundamentals are there. And then the group coaching every week is to work on your specific stuff in this current reality, in this current economy, in this current time, what we're all going through collectively. And it will give you such strength. Even if you just need that energetic kick up the bum or that accountability, it will give you such empowerment, and you'll hear other people say something and it will just blow your mind. Half the time it's what someone else says that has like something you needed to hear. And then that gives you the empowerment or the realization that you're not crazy, or the kind of reassurance that you're on track, and gives you that winning edge to just do the leverage, the thing that you've probably had it in your inbox for 3 years. You've probably known you're meant to do something for a long time, and you've just been getting stuck and getting in your own way. And it dissolves all of that. It repatterns you.
So this recording, Kat, that's going to go out to the people who've missed it and everyone who wants to rewatch it as well. Will it go out with links to connect with you? How is it?
Yeah, sure. Why don't we send out an email maybe to people that have been on? And I hope you've enjoyed it, everybody. I really want to take any questions. So if people do want to write in with questions, it's totally fine. We can come back. We can even do another call again sometime if people have enjoyed it and got benefit from it. I really want to be of service to your community. I think this time right now we are being called to come together like in these ways and talk into the truth of where we're going and what we need to focus on as a community of empowered beings. We're meant to have power and resources. We're not meant to be impoverished. We've got to get over our stories of lack and fear so that we can be part of the solution. So we can, so then answer your question, we can send out an email. I'm not doing that much one-to-one work right now. I have almost fully booked. I've probably got one space for one-to-one left for 2022. But this program is my way of creating it at also a much more affordable price than my private work. It's an investment. Like, it's certainly not for the faint of heart, because I'm not gonna mollycoddle like with you, right? Like, it was like
straight talking.
Yeah, I'm very direct. and I have to live what I teach, which is to value yourself. Yeah, absolutely. But this is affordable, it's doable, and it's an amazing investment, and you have it for your life. It's not something that goes away. It's something that most of my community revisit time and again and get something more and more from each time. Brilliant. And proven results. Brilliant. Yeah, so I think we'll do the link in an email to everybody, and then if people have questions, they're more than welcome to reach out. And we're here for you.
And the people because there's quite a few people, because it's 4 p.m. UK time, quite a few people in work asking me on social media, is it going to be recorded? And they'll be sent a recording as well with a link to your website as well and things.
Yes, we'll definitely do that, and we'll try and maybe get this up on, I don't know, YouTube or somewhere easy for people to see.
My name doesn't hold too well on YouTube. I recently did an interview with Leanne Brown, who was married to Wes Brown at Man U, but she messaged me and was like, Sam, I can't even upload it with your name on it. Wow. Yeah. So I was probably over the target on something, but can go on my interviews page as well, and then Michelle can probably send it out to all my subscribers, and then we should have your team's probably collected people's emails to be able to send it out to them who've registered.
We'll definitely follow up. If you've registered, we'll follow this up with you. And wherever you're at on your journey, you know, I really want everyone just to take a moment and just close your eyes and just take a deep breath and go, okay, what's my next step? Like if what's the thing I've been afraid of doing? You know, what one thing could I do? What one step could I take that would feel so good right now? And I've probably been putting it off or avoiding it. And actually, I just need to get on with that. I just need to bite the bullet. What one step is my next right step? You know, guide me in that next right step. And just see if like you get a feeling or a vision, a flash, a sense of things. And if you do, take a moment and just write that down and just commit. You know, the power of being in a group. They did all these studies at Harvard Business School about like the power of people being together. And you can take a deep breath and open your eyes if you want to come back. But yeah, there's like this kind of, they see it in animals, in herds. There's like a circle of light around them. And that's what happens when we come together in groups. We get this kind of like circle of light. So anything you declare and intend when you're in this type of a field is really, really powerful. So before you leave, and I know we're at the top of our hour together, but just before you leave, just take that really real moment and be like, do you know what, I'm going to do that. And if that's working with me, if that's hiring a mentor, if that's taking a leap of faith like Sam did, then amazing. I can't wait to welcome you and introduce you to the rest of the community. And maybe that's something other that's scary for you, that you've just been waiting for that to get out of your own way on. And I just invite you to scare yourself and just boldly go, boldly go where you know you need to go. Go where you fear to tread. I mean, Sam, you're such the most amazing example of that ever. You know, you inspire me daily. I'm amazed by your courage.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Kat. As a doctor and friend, go and get some rest now.
Yeah, I know. It's been one of those flights where just the times, I think I'm going to try and stay on the English time zone. So
okay.
maybe I'll be going to bed in a couple of hours when you guys will go to bed.
You don't look jet lagged, so that's a good sign. Yeah, healthy mitochondria. There we go.
Yes, yeah, I feel all right actually at the moment.
Good.
There's a heat wave here, so I'm gonna go and get a walk now.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. We'll see you all later. Bye.
Everyone, good luck with all your projects. We'd love to hear from you, so keep us posted.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.